sooner. To analyse what the reversal of EU laws could actually mean and how they could impact you is Professor Catherine Barnard, Professor of EU Law at Cambridge and Fellow at UK in a Changing Europe. Good evening, Professor.
Good evening.
So, is this a case of, if at first you don't succeed in crashing the UK economy, try again?
Well, that's one way of looking at it, but certainly this legislation is really significant. It's going to be debated in the Commons on Tuesday, and at the moment, the way it's drafted is it says that the 2,400 or so retained EU law, that was law that we were bound to comply with when we were a member of the European Union, which we carried over into UK law. All of that law is going to be sunsetted. You can hear lots of this word coming up, and sunsetted means that it's going to be brought to an end unceremoniously on the 31st of December 2023, unless government departments decide otherwise.
2,400. Now, presumably those laws would then have to be replaced by British laws that would deal with whatever issue it was that they were appended to. How can they change all of those laws and enact new ones in that period of time?
They can't. There just isn't the time at all. And indeed, Rishi Sunak, in his campaign in the summer, when he was beaten by Liz Truss, he actually said he was going to do it all within 100 days. Liz Truss said she would do it all by the end of 2023. Now, the reality is it's just impossible for all of that law covering really important matters to your listeners and to our lives, worker rights, consumer rights, environmental protections. These are really important laws. If we turn them off, as this law proposes to do, then there will be nothing put in its place, because there just isn't the time to come up with new proposals, consult on them, draft them, and then get them through Parliament. So what's going to happen with this law is essentially deregulatory, turning off lots and lots of worker, environmental and consumer protection law.
Well, let's just talk about specifics then. Is it the sort of thing that might prevent a company from pouring sewage into rivers, for instance?
Yep, it's those sorts of laws on the quality of water, the area I know most about, which is about employment law. Think about the legislation on working time, which gives you your 4 weeks paid annual leave, which actually the UK has topped up to 5.6 weeks paid annual leave. Think about your protection if you're an agency worker, so you work for a temporary agency, you're a temp, and you get the same pay as those in the company you're working for after you've done 12 weeks work. Think about part-time work protections, which say part-timers have got to be treated the same way as full-timers. And think about fixed-term work, people who've got on fixed-term contracts who've got to be treated the same as people with permanent contracts. And the list goes on.